Also, another message for you out there watching this. Please do not go to people while they're working and try to confess your feelings and tell them stuff, because they're just trying to do their job. They're just trying to make the money, and they deal with enough really stupid stuff like we're going over on the work. They don't also need you dumping that on them while they're trying to make a gordita.
I hate when people come in and try to flirt with me while I'm busy.
Oh god, the one guy who asked you if you were single.
Oh my god!
No.
Wait, are you talking about the
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, because I had a follow-up. When she told me the story, I had something to follow it up with, which made her just pause and laugh. So
The dude looks at me and was like, "Hey, you married?" And I was like, I'm engaged. And he's like, "That's not how you should say that. You should have just said you were shacking up with somebody." And I was like, "No, I'm engaged. You're making me uncomfortable." And he just kept going on and on about it. And it was really weird.
not that one.
Not that one?
No, the other one.
Which one?
The guy who wanted to ask you out.
Which
At
one?
Dollar Tree.
Which one?
That's nice to know there was more than the one. It's the guy who asked you out, and he's like, "Hey, are you single?" And you're like, "No, I have a fiance." And he goes, "Oh, well, if you ever want to hang out."
That guy. Oh.
No. So just.
I was putting stuff away during one of the few chances I had during a busy day to actually put stuff back. And this guy comes up to me and just kind of looks at me for a couple seconds and asks if I'm single. And I was like, "Nope, I'm engaged." And he was like, "Oh, that's too bad. Well, if you ever need a friend, just hit me up. I'm always available."
So she came home and told me that, and I said, "So he didn't want to be your friend if you were single?" That's horrible. But since you're with somebody, we can be friends.
I also had somebody like a day or two ago who came in and started saying something until they turned their head to look at me and they said, "Oh, you're pretty," and then walked away. It was like a random old guy. And I was just like, what? It happens a lot.
That's weird.
I know! It's always weird!
This is a PG channel.
No, it's not. It's my channel. It's not
It's
PG.
PG.
Not on
It's
my
not
Christian
PG.
It's PG.
Not PG. Oh my
It's
god.
PG.
Man periods.
Disclaimer. I have no idea what she's about to say.
It's just funny hearing it said. Okay.
All right. I am ready to be amazed, wowed, and befuddled.
Okay,
Kicked
so
in the
I have
nuts.
an ex who he learned about how men have hormonal cycles and took it to the next step and thought that they had periods too.
First part's true. Look it up.
Mm-hmm. But this
Just the first part.
is the first.
Hormonal cycles. Sometimes you get feelings more than
whenever
usual.
I would be on mine, which were really horrible at the time, he would be telling me that it's not that bad because he gets them too. And so mine would be ones where I'd end up fainting and vomiting and just, it's all over horrible.
It's a very good dramatic effect.
And so one time,
Oh, it's not that bad. On the ground,
Mhm.
wincing in pain. Fuck you.
I had fainted at his apartment. And so when I came to, he asked me if I had ever been kicked in the balls because it is much worse. So that, obviously I have not.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I've seen guys get kicked in the balls and every other dude has the same response. They're just like, I don't ever see a girl look at another girl on a period and go,
Yeah, no, they
they're
go.
usually like, Jesus Christ, honey, do you need something? Because Jesus Christ, you deserve the world right now.
Yeah.
Whereas guys are just like, walk it off, Tom. Holy shit, you just see Tom? Oh my god. He's going to talk like he's 12 for the next 2 days.
I think it's funny though that a lot of dudes are like, "Oh, it hurts us when we get hit in the balls." Like I get that it technically would hurt them more because there's like stuff between, but a lot of them act like it doesn't hurt us at all. But let me tell you, I have fallen on a metal bar. It still hurts. There's a bone there.
Yeah, if you get kicked in the balls, like actually get like hit in the balls, it feels like this weird icicle is going up your body, like from the center up to your chest, and your lungs are like, you forgot how to breathe. Also, you're in pain. And it's just like, and then it comes back to you eventually. But you're just like, everything should not have happened like that.
Yeah, but my argument for that is that only lasts for max like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, at max. Like, and the initial pain of like your lungs being like you don't know how to breathe is
30 seconds. a minute.
30 seconds at the worst.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay,
They're going
you're
through
suffering
this for a
for
week.
Days of not being able to
by the
stand
way,
up or puking and
there's
passing out.
also blood.
I have another 2 from Dollar Tree.
Devil business.
One of them is a question I get fairly frequently that it's not like a really stupid question, but I don't understand why people think it's a thing. Because again, it's the dollar store. Everything costs $1. And when you add on the tax, it's like 10 cents, 6 cents if it's food. And so when people come up and have a single item, and they go to check out and they're like, do you have a military discount? No, we don't have a military discount. Because everything is $1. What?
You have a senior citizens discount.
The other story that I just really wanted to tell, because it happened the other day. We started getting carts with those long poles on them because people kept taking them outside and running them over and stealing them and taking them to other stores. So we went from like 20 carts to like 3. So we got a whole bunch of new carts. We have 17 of them now, and they have those really long poles so they can't be taken outside. Or rather, they're not supposed to be able to be taken outside. A dude, not even 2 days after we got these things, took it to the door, and I was taking care of another customer, and I just hear a loud slam. And I look over, and he broke it to get out the door with it. And then he turns to me and says, "Why is it like that?" And I'm like, "Sir, they're not supposed to go outside." At which point he goes, "Oh, I'll bring it right back," and then walks away.
I left it outside.
And yeah, he left it outside.
You lied to me. You broke things here.
The manager had to go get it.
Of course.
He's not the only one either. There's like 5 of them that are like bent out now.
You want to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
Your former roommate, the guy that we keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a gold mine.
I know.
Yeah.
Gold mine was stupid things.
I brought some tool. I have a tool set.
Yes.
Kit set something
You got
like that.
tools.
You have tools.
And so he was needing to build something at their first apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't getting it done, so I asked if they wanted me to leave him there. He's like, "Can I just keep them?" Like, and I'm like, "I'll loan them to you, but you can't have them." But he went on to say that because I'm a girl, I don't need tools. Tools that I use probably on a weekly basis, just because I live in an older house.
Bi-weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't fix things.
And so the same guy, later on down the line in apartment number 2, is loaned a power drill to build a ping pong table. And you honestly don't need a power drill for this.
Yeah, not really.
It's that compressed wood, so you can just screw them in with like a regular screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
But he thought he needed a power drill.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out he doesn't know how to work one.
Mm-hmm.
So I offered to teach him, and he refused.
And I believe to this day the ping pong table has not been built.
Nope, it's just sitting in the pile of pieces.
Like 500 days later.
I would love for him to like meet my mother, who's built so many things.
500
Oh.
days of power drill.
I would love for him to meet your mother because I would love to see her get just so mad at somebody for everything that they are.
Yeah, I've seen my mom like upset at somebody briefly, but I've never seen her continually mad at somebody for just being themselves, and that is like the one person I could see her being angry at him for being himself. Because my mom loves like everybody, and she's very much like, just be you, it's fine, it's wonderful, but no, not with him. I don't think with him.
No. Especially when he tries to convince her that he can dance.
Oh no. He tried to convince me he could dance once, and then he showed me his dancing and was like, I bet I could beat you in a competition. And I was like, I grew up dancing in competitions, and your feet look like they're tying themselves in a knot.
Was he doing the little fapping? Like, he was trying to show me, like, it was like this?
Yeah,
and
that like, he was trying to do stomp, but he just was like doing this.
Yeah, he called it, like, fapping or something.
It was so weird. That's not a good thing to call it
What do
either.
you call it?
He called it fapping. And it's like...
It's like if you've ever seen.
No, I'm just making sure. Fapping. I'm stuck on the fact that he was like, this dance move is called the jerk off. You know, the masturbator. This says a lot about me as a person.
This is going to a coworker who never really knew how to take no as an answer. Like, one of the reasons why I don't tell most people that I'm bi is because if every now and then I'll get that one dude who hears that and just says, "Swigga swooga," which, nah, I'm not always for it. I am not a hoe anymore. But
Stand is now.
but like there was this dude who I used to work with. I'll just call him Necktat.
Necktat.
Necktat. You remember Necktat, right?
Maybe?
The dude who tried to go vegan just to impress me because you were vegan and we were dating.
Oh!
So with Necktat, what happened was he kept telling me that I wasn't bi because I wouldn't do stuff with him, and I kept telling him I am dating somebody. Yeah, but it's a girl, so you're straight. And I'm like, trust me. No.
No, kids, you don't decide people's sexuality.
Yeah, and he kept trying to pressure me. And I was like, nah.
Thanks for the uncomfortable vibes.
Even if I, wanted to, not with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't force yourself on people. That's just
Gross.
Yeah.
This happened back when I was still working at the first hotel. So,
I think I know this one.
since I was already making videos at this point, anyone watching may or may not be aware of the fact that while I was working at the first hotel I worked at was the first time I ever shaved part of my head. You remember.
I remember very clearly.
So I went to work after having shaved part of my head. I don't remember if it was just this part. I think it was just this part.
Yeah, it was just that part.
Yeah, but I had gone to work and I went through my shift and I went to leave, and a lady that had stayed there for a while came around the corner while I was standing at the front desk talking to a friend of ours. And she like gasps when she sees me, and I'm like, "Are you okay, ma'am? Can I help you with something?" And she looks at me and says, "Do you have cancer?" And I'm just like, "What? No." And then she's like, "Are you sick? Did you have surgery on your head or something? What happened?" And I'm like,
oh no, baby, what are you doing?
like, first of all, you saw me yesterday when my hair was fully there. If I had just had surgery, not only would I not be here, but there would be a scar on my head.
Mm-hmm.
And you are
Hypochondriac.
you really just gonna go up to someone you don't even know and just straight up be like, do you have cancer? Like, just in the middle of a public space to a person you don't know. And, like, why would I just have shaved one part of my head? What?
Yes, I have cancer just on the right side, though.
Where's
should
the
see the body.
logic?
I can always go with that one. One of my favorite stories of high school was one of my, when I was a freshman, it's the end of the day, it was Friday. Everyone had gone on the buses already. Everyone, like, cleared out. Well, my friends were like, hey, we're going to start walking home. I'm like, cool, I need to run to my locker real quick. I'll catch up with you guys. So I go and run to my locker, literally. As I'm running down this empty hallway, a teacher comes out of the door and says, hey, stop running down the hallway. To which I kindly respond, since it's the weekend and after hours, no. You keep running. A crowd comes out, so I slow down. I walk through the crowd, I get to my locker, open up everything, get my books, close the locker, turn to my left, and the guy finally caught up with me, beat red face, and says, you're going to the office now. I'm like, why? So he grabs me by the arm and drags me there, more or less. Takes me to the assistant principal's office and starts going off. She's looking at me like, what did you do? Because, sad to say, at this point, me and the assistant principal had a really close friendship because we've seen each other so much in the school. I did not care for authority, and I did not care for people that didn't listen. So those two coinciding was not healthy for my school life.
I mean, teachers shouldn't be like that anyway.
So he's sitting there screaming about how I was disrespectful, and I ran down an empty hallway, and when he told me to stop, he told me to stop, and I just yelled at him back, and I said, well, can I say something? And he turns to me, beat red face, and goes, no! I'm like, right. And she's just like, holy shit. So he leaves. She's like, that's okay, thank you, I got the understand, I'll handle it. And she looks at me and says, okay, first off, did you really think you're going to outrun the athletic instructor? I said, I did. I said, so do I have to ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, am I really going to be in trouble for running in an empty hallway after hours? Well, it's against the rules. And I'm like, it's after hours and it's the weekend. I said, school's been closed for 20 minutes. The buses are gone. Everyone's gone. Well, you made him really mad, so I have to discipline you. And I'm like, all right. She goes, I have to give you a suspension. I'm like, 3-day weekend for this. She goes, yeah. I said, I said, you know this is really stupid, right? And she goes, I know, Eraitt. Okay. So I walked home by myself. Friends had already gone. Get home. Say, hey, Dad, I got bad news. What happened? I got suspended for a day. What did you do? Well, after school was out, I ran down an empty hallway. A guy told me to stop running. I told him no. And then when he caught up with me, he yelled at me and brought me to the office, and I got suspended for a day. He goes, give me that slip, and he reads it. After hours, ran down an empty hallway. Teacher told me to stop. I didn't. So, suspension. He goes, oh my God. Fast forward to Monday morning. Eraitt, get up. That's right. Your school's stupid. And you closes the door. One of my favorite high school stories.
That's wonderful.
Suspended for running down an empty hallway.
So over the summer, I worked at a bird banding station.
A bird what station?
Bird banding.
Okay.
So we put little bracelets with numbers on
That's
the
awesome.
birds. It's a lot of fun. But my supervisor was barely able to make it since he's working 2 other jobs for the state. And he just didn't have time. He only made it to maybe 2 days out of, I think we had 20 total field days. I'll have to go and check. But one of my coworkers, it's all volunteer based, so we're not paid. But he works on Golden Key Warbler surveys with some of the other people. So that's how he got invited, not knowing my supervisor. It's usually you have to know someone to go. You can't just show up. And anyways, On the way there, it's in a state park. There are feral hogs everywhere since it's Texas. And so most of what he does on a military base is hog control. He goes off-road in his Subaru, which is like, it's like a small-ish car,
It's a Subaru.
and hits them. Which
I mean,
it was
I
up,
spit.
like maybe a 250-pound hog. He hits the hog, damages his car. The hog is only stunned because they're hogs and they're pretty durable.
They're sturdy.
And so one of the other workers comes, since they saw him do it, and asked him about it, and told him it didn't die, not even injured, just damaged.
All you
your
did is possibly piss it off.
Yeah.
Oh no, a minor inconvenience. I was hit with a Subaru.
I'm gonna get a Subaru.
Ghost credit.
This is actually a gun-related story. So, I used to go to the shooting range a lot with one of my friends to help me get over some of my PTSD, which it did help a lot. Like, we started off with different calibers, started off like just kind of, not really being there to be accurate or anything, just get over the noise. And after a while I did go over it, and it started becoming fun, and it just started like, yay, we're going to the range today. It was a horrible day at work. I'm going to protect the target's my boss.
Healthy.
Probably not the healthiest way to deal with it, but it helped a little bit.
Blow enough steam.
Yeah, but we brought one of our friends who he claimed to know a lot about guns. I would not be sharing this story if he had admitted he didn't know anything. So, I'm shooting a revolver because I like revolvers, and he has a semi-automatic pistol, which one of them has a little magazine that goes inside. The other one you put in the rounds individually.
Yeah.
I walk away to go smoke a cigarette, and when I come back, he's trying to jam the magazine into the handle of the revolver, and I'm just looking at him like, what are you doing? And he's just like, what? I thought they were interchangeable. Do you see a mag well? No? Where are you trying to shove that into? I don't know. I thought something might click open. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Wait, no, I think I almost got it. Put the fucking gun down. Yeah, because the point when I yelled at him, I should give a little bit more context. When I yelled at him was when I noticed that he had his finger on the trigger as well, while messing around, hitting it with a magazine and everything.
Been mad as he woke.
My coworker never invited him to the range after that because he said he was a hazard at the range, and he always talked so much about how he loved guns that we didn't realize his only experience with guns was video games.
Just remember, kids,
Yay.
the number one safety is this.
Trigger discipline. It's important.
Yes, please.
It reminds me of the time when our crazy scientist friend
Mad science was.
was fidgeting with a gun design he had made himself. And then I was like, hey, you might want to wear some safety gear. And he went, it's a prototype, it can't hurt me. Hits the bottom end and he goes in his face.
Mhm.
I mean, he's fine.
They can't grow an afro anymore.
That's true. But
Shame.
anyways, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but if you didn't, that's perfectly okay and perfectly understandable. But hopefully I'll see you in the next one anyway. So until then, I hope your day is just as lovely as you are. Goodbye. You should wave. Bye. Goodbye.
Have you been covered in bees recently? Because you're just sweeter than honey.
Oh.
Terrible.